This is Robert Murd launching the Mindshare Learning Report, Canada's Learning and Technology e-magazine. And welcome to this week's Leaders and Legends of EdTech podcast here at ISTELive in Philadelphia. I'm honored to have a Mindshare Learning moment with Dieumerci Christel at DM, and he is the founder of Enlightapp. He's part of the TechStars program. He's an immigrant entrepreneur, an inspiring speaker. Thank you for joining me here at ISTELive. Thank you for taking part in our Can-Am yesterday. It was a great mixture of education and industry leaders, and you being the next generation leader, and soon to be a legend. So, but talk to me about your journey, because you were raised at a refugee camp in Tanzania. And then you end up in North Dakota, hockey country.
Hockey country. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor. I've been really following your program since we met last year. So I'm really honored to be here. But yeah, my journey really starts in a refugee camp in Tanzania. My parents are Congolese.
Yeah.
And for 13 years of my life, I lived in these, basically the jungle, I always call it. And my family immigrated to the U.S. in 2010. And right when we immigrated here, about a year in, once we lived in Colorado, we heard there was amazing jobs in North Dakota. So we packed up and we lived there for 12 years of my life, which was, amazing.
That's further north than Toronto on the map. Yes. So I can relate. It's very relatable to me.
Yeah.
And right by the Canadian borders. You're almost Canadian.
Basically, a lot of Canadians coming down all the time. We always sometimes used to, jump the border, go in and have a little fun in Canada, and then come back in for the weekend.
Amazing. Yeah. So talk to me about the inspiration of Enlightapp, and I also want to ask you about your impression of the ISTE conference as well, which is the largest North American EdTech conference that we are proud media partners of, and have been attending for probably longer than you've been here.
I'm here in America for sure. Yeah. So my inspiration for Enlightapp is my teachers. When I moved from the refugee camp coming to America, I imagined, these amazing learning environments full of innovations. One of the things I would use to, really get passionate about is when I watch movies on TV. And I would see American kids on computers, and I would stop to myself, wow, they're in there solving all the world problems. And especially coming from a refugee camp where, I saw clearly talent is evenly distributed. There was geniuses in these refugee camps, but just because of the circumstances and the places where we are and the resources that are provided to us, there is no way for us to ignite our potential. So for me, the American dream is what I was chasing.
Amazing.
So for me coming here, I was like, wow, if I come here, I'm gonna go to the best schools in the world, imagining these innovative schools where I could ignite my potential. But very quickly when I came here, I was
going to ask you, did it meet your expectations?
Honestly, not really. There's amazing standout teachers who got to understand who I was, my passion and my drive, and they were able to tap into that passion. And I learned English in a year because of these kinds of amazing educators who got to understand me. But my educational journeys just felt lonely. I felt disengaged, and I really didn't I just felt like a number in school. And that was really kind of one of the best, one of the experiences where I thought I was alone in this kind of feeling. But once I started talking to more and more of my friends who were sometimes even dropping out, feeling like the education system was failing them, I found out that it was a way much larger problem than anticipated. And so I, made it my mission to help every educator become experts at actually engaging these kids by getting to know them as humans. You just wrote a book about human connection, and that to me is really my biggest mission.
I'm writing it, so it'll be available later this year. So
can't wait.
Tiffany, our last guest, is so inspiring to me.
Yeah,
I forgot to ask on the key tips to finishing. We'll catch up.
A few late nights.
But what is your journey as an entrepreneur been like? You've been associated with Penn GSC and John Gamba and Rita Ferrandino, two EdTech awesome leaders and friends in the industry. It is a community.
Yeah.
Right. And it's about people, as I talked about last night at our summit. It's about HI, human intelligence.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that question because, two things. One is, it takes a village to raise a child. And for me, it's always been community. My mentors, my supporters, really from day one, starting especially with the educators. Actually, it's funny. One of my teachers, Mrs. Strand, in my physics class, we had, at the end of the year, big project. I'm like,
right.
It's kind of on the border of like low-key kind of about to fail this class. And she goes, I was like, I have this idea. They're kind of telling me to go pitch my idea, whatever. And she goes, hey, instead of doing this big project, go do the pitch, and then I'll replace your grade. Instead of you doing the project, go do the pitch. I know you won't maybe be at Einstein or, start discovering quarks or whatever, but you are really passionate about this, so go do that.
Yeah.
Once she pushed me to do that, I'd rather go do a 5-minute pitch than, do a 20-hour project. And so for me, it's like finding educators like that who not only supported to me starting my journey, to finding mentors in many communities that I've been into.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And what's the response been like with your startup?
Amazing.
How many years in are you?
So, I started the journey, and, just learning was since like high school, since senior year of high school. Is when I started, and I built this throughout college. And as I was building it throughout college, again, like very, very slowly learning. Right now, we have almost a 500 teacher wait list. A 500 teacher wait list that we've been really like. A 500 teacher wait list that we built in literally 2 months, which was incredible. We have gotten support from TechCrunch, from Teach for America. We've gotten support.
Amazing.
We've gotten support from TechStars. Yes.
Yeah.
We've gotten support from TechStars, and so it's just really been one of those like amazing community and finding the right resources in the community to be able to take things to the next level.
And we're just flashing it up on the screen here for you to have a look. So what's next?
Awesome. We're launching this fall. And this is like the most excited I've honestly been. We built this product really with educators, especially we partner with more than 400 teachers and students.
Wow.
To design and build this platform. So it's really one of those teacher student built platform. And I was very, very intentional about how we were able to actually design and build this platform. And so for us this fall is really honestly my most excited moment to now put it in their hands and see how educators can actually make an impact with the tool that we're just able to create.
What are the teachers and students saying?
Amazing feedback, especially educators. When we talk to teachers, one of the biggest things that they always tell us is, how they wanted to go into teaching to make an impact on their students. And when you have 250 students average in your class, it's so hard, to get to know every student, understand them, and figure out how you can create that unique strategy for connection. So one of the things that we kept hearing is most of the time, it's hard for me to extend the love that I have for my students all the way to the back of the classroom, because sometimes I can only get to the students who are in the front. And so one of the things that I really, really thought deeply about is how can we allow educators to make impact at scale by using human intelligence and getting to understand these kids, because
That's
that's
gaining
exactly how they're
momentum.
thinking. Exactly.
Hashtag HI.
Hashtag HI.
You're a speaker, an inspired speaker.
Yes, sir.
No doubt. You had an audience with the governor of North Dakota. Who's a presidential candidate. Talk to me about how you got there and what other gigs you've done that are notable and memorable.
Awesome. Yeah. I love telling my story, especially, because, coming from where I come from, we don't get a platform. And so whenever I get a platform, I really try to take advantage of it and, be able to inspire other kids that look like me, that might come from the same kind of background. And so for me, I got really, really lucky being from North Dakota and being embraced by that community, especially with the governor there. I got invited to go speak at the education summit. And we had actually a panel, you can find it on YouTube, where we really talked about my journey coming to America and building this company and where and the vision of where I really wanted to take it. And the other one that I did was more so on Creative Morning. And really that talk is more so about, you get hit with circumstances like being born in a refugee camp, like being born in basically one of the most poorest countries in the world, really. And it's all about how your perspective on it, right? You might sit there and pout and oh, my life sucks. But it's about the mindset that you go with it. You can make it Beautiful. You can make it fun. You can live and thrive even in the most poorest nations and be happy. Actually, it's one of the things I always hear all the time. Americans going to like Bali or foreign countries, like, wow, how are people so happy? Why are they smiling? Yeah. It's like, because people make the most out of it. It's your perspective
of the situation. Exactly. It's not always peaches and cream or direct path. And you just deal with the curveballs that are thrown at you. To use the baseball analogy, we are in the U.S. Speaking of which, you're at ISTELive. What are your impressions so far? It's a huge conference. It's the largest in North America. Some 500 exhibitors, lots of tech. But you really have to be purposeful and intentional in really understanding, what the needs are and what tools. It's about using the right tool at the right time. So you're launching your product, you're getting some inspiration, forging partnerships, perhaps. What do you want to say to the teachers and the edtech companies that are here?
It has been an amazing experience. Literally from the jump, as I came here on Sunday, picked up my badge. I mean, I've just been meeting people everywhere, and I think conferences like this, it's all about people, connections, and also at the same time, like you mentioned, being able to go into Expo and seeing all these amazing companies and tech, it gives me so much motivation, not only to see how many other innovators are in the space creating amazing tools to help educators make an impact, but also at the same time for me as an entrepreneur to take inspiration and see how Microsoft is, talking about their product, or Kami, or, Kahoot, and seeing educators all around it. I'm like, one year from now, I'll probably be here and, in my booth, really making a killing with educators. And so for me, my biggest inspiration is really coming, especially from the human connections that I've been able to meet, people like you and, Rita and Gamba, who are, have been extremely supportive.
Well, thank you so much for that and your time. DM, it's been an honor, and grateful of your time.
The honor is all mine. I appreciate it.
Have a great rest of your conference. Hope to see you again in Florida.
Will do.
During the holidays.
Calm down. We'll go golfing.
At the coldest time of the year. Yes. And we'll bring Tiffany.
Tiffany's gonna come.
The varsity golfer that you just interviewed earlier. Yeah. Amazing. You give me hope for the future. What do you want to say to the young people that perhaps don't know what they want to do with their career and focus in college?
I would say that the biggest thing is to just follow your gut. Follow your gut. Try different things. Try as many things. That's what I did throughout high school. I was the C student, Robert.
Yeah.
And the C student really allowed me to be a DJ, be a videographer, photographer, and I tried so many things until I landed to entrepreneurship. But that was probably till college where I really figured like, wow, this social entrepreneurship is what I want to do with my life. So it takes time. And so being patient, I would say, is the biggest thing. Be patient with yourself. And give yourself time to be able to figure that out. Because sometimes, you want to be rushed by your parents or your peers or your friends, but take your time with it because and also at the same time, we also live in a time where you can quickly change careers just like that, right? And so it's not like you have to pick one path and just continue with that path. You could learn how to code in 6 months and start working for a tech company. You could learn how to design in 3 weeks and start working for Microsoft. So, you don't have to pick one thing and go with it. So it's more so about finding that mission and purpose in your life.
And being agile in your mindset.
Exactly.
Agile, growth mindset.
And think about design thinking, first principle, problem solving. Those are all my jams.
Wow. That's a lot packed in here and great advice for our youth. And you give me hope for the future. And
appreciate you.
And we'll let you get back to the conference. That was Dieumerci Christel, founder of Enlightapp, immigrant entrepreneur, inspiring speaker, as you saw here this morning. And my name is Robert Merglanchi of the Mindshare Learning Report. Be sure to check out www.mindshare.learning to get your latest issue. And until next time, stay healthy, stay safe, and keep the learning curve steep.